Hello, we are the Star Teachers. Welcome to our first live channeling interaction here on TikTok. We welcome you and we are so excited to be of service to you. Our partner will be doing normal things with her body as we speak through her. She's been very used to us, having merged with us years and years ago. We hope that you will enjoy interacting with us. Some of you have already sent in questions, and we will start with that. Please know that you can ask any question you like, and we'll be pleased to help you with any answers. Also know that as we speak through our partner on the carrier wave of the voice and the emanation from the eyes of our partner, you will be receiving energy support, DNA upgrades, all of the things that you need to begin to move yourself up into the frequency where you can enjoy life the way we do. Why is that? Well, because we are you. We are you on a higher frequency. Because you have done what you are getting ready to do in this particular life reality, we exist. Because of you, you change the world. Because of everything you do from here on out, you cause a shift. A shift on your planet, a shift to a different dimension, and a shift to a higher frequency of love. And for this, we are eternally grateful to you. For again, without you doing this, we would not exist now. We are just reaching through the frequencies at this moment to help you understand that you have already accomplished this. You've already done it. Now you just need to focus on sustaining yourself in that frequency, and you will enjoy the harmonious, cohesive, heart-coherent life, the creative life that we enjoy as well. So please get comfortable. Breathe deeply with us. Allow yourself to be in a state of relaxed surrender. There you go. Now we're able to be more coherent. And the more you listen to this, the greater the coherency there will be. The more coherency with the most people, the faster you will ascend to this other frequency. Several of you have offered us questions in advance, and our partner will read them from a sheet of paper and answer them. Actually, we'll be answering them through her as we start to really tune everyone into this frequency. We wish to welcome all of you and thank you for your patience, as this technology is very rudimentary compared to what we use, which is the power of consciousness. All right, we'll begin with some questions now. And please know, with each question, more and more energy enhancement will be happening for you and for everyone around you. Judy asked, when will I be able to leave the matrix and do work that I love, such as healing hypnosis or sewing work? Things that I enjoy. Judy, many people come to us and ask us this very question. Most humans who are alive today have been incarnating on this planet for millennia, over and over again, just to have a learning experience. But now you are waking up. You find that you are finished with all of this experimentation. It's just a science lab, basically, that you have devised for yourselves, and now you want to go on to something else. That's why everything feels so mundane and tedious and maybe even annoying and very uncomfortable. What we're here to tell you is you do it, and you do it from a place of relaxed joy, excitement, and love. More than anything, we want to impress upon you to express gratitude for everything that is already just fine in your life, or for things that you realize are really beautiful, pleasing to you, your preferred environment, for instance. If you are sitting in a home right now that has a nice temperature and you're comfortable, you're not freezing to death or burning up, express gratitude for that. And more of that type of energy will come into your life and express into the things that you really, really want. If you don't like the work you're doing, at least express gratitude for having work, for the ability to be of service, and for the ability to bring in some abundance, no matter how big or small that is. As you express this gratitude and bless what you have, and start to focus more consciously on everything around you and in your life that is good, more good comes to you. With that, we encourage you every morning, as soon as you wake up, to keep your eyes closed. Again, think about what you can be grateful for and express that gratitude. And then to send love out to the entire world, the entire cosmos. Feel the oneness. Feel the unified oneness from your heart. Send that love to everyone and everything. And when you feel that beautiful love state within your being, just internally state your intention. It could go something like this. I now draw myself to the perfect work, the perfect preferred lifestyle that I enjoy and that I can use to be of service to others and still live in a state of excitement and happiness. And then release it. Don't think about it again. Just live as if you already have it, and you will see things happening very quickly. Opportunities will start to avail themselves to you. And if you are being more and more conscious, aware of the synchronicities, the little crumbs of hints of what is to come, and you move from the place of excitement, joy, love, and gratitude, those opportunities will avail themselves to you. And we want to make sure that you all understand this. They usually come from a place that you don't expect. As some of you would say, they come out of left field. Total surprise. So be open to the surprises and don't be afraid of shocking or unusual things happening to you. One thing we would like to say before we move on to more questions is, if you're listening to this live or you listen to the recording later, we want to really remind you not to do that while you are operating a vehicle, because the sound of our partner's voice can lead you to a brainwave state that is very deep and that will help you to enhance your experience with us. However, it is not a good experience when you need to be focusing outward. So save this for a time when you can really just hone in on the sound of the voice. All right, for all of you who are new to joining us or who are new to the Star Teachers, once again, we want to say we are a group, extraterrestrial, interdimensional entity, really having evolved from you as human beings in the state that you're in now. We have come very far, but we want to remind you that there is no time, there is no space, there is just life vibrating at different rates of oscillation, causing different layers of frequency. So you are actually already living the harmonious, happy, creative, and abundant life that we live. You just aren't focusing on it. We're here to remind you of the focus and of what you can expect if you do start to be more conscious in the life that you are already focusing on. So welcome to all of you. The next question that we have that we received earlier was from someone named Zolcia. And Zolcia says, what are your coping mechanisms? What do you beings use as coping mechanisms? And we must tell you, there is no need to cope, because When you are living from a conscious state of gratitude, love, forgiveness, also important, and joy, passion, excitement, there's no need to cope because you become in a state of flow. And when you live in a state of flow, things just fall into place for you with ease and grace. We know this sounds cliche, but our partner is a good example of this. She was always striving to do better, to achieve more, to be competitive, to win, always making plans, always organizing. That's fine. It's all well and good for the construct that you're focused on now, which is the third dimensional earth human life. But in that construct, it can be very limiting and very restrictive, and things move very slowly. And there are lots of lessons that have to be learned and overcome before you get what you really try to manifest. You're always manifesting. You're always creating. Every time you have a thought, you're creating something new, including universes. But you're not aware of them if you are in a state of feeling lack or need, or the need to control how the outcome happens. Let us repeat that again in a different way. The more you try, the more you analyze and think and try to control things, the harder it is for the greater part of yourself, which is the universe, Y-O-U, universe, to pull into your reality that which you desire or prefer. Perhaps you've had the experience where you're trying to do something physical. For instance, if you've ever tried to practice yoga, there's a posture called tree pose where you stand on one foot, on one leg, and bring the other foot up into the standing leg thigh. And then you reach your arms over your head and you pretend you're a tree, standing tall, branches waving into the sky. Well, if you are a normal human first trying this, the operative word is try, you find that it can be very difficult, far more difficult than you ever would have thought, because you're trying to balance on one foot, you're trying to keep the other foot up in the other leg, you're trying to reach your arms up without falling over, and the harder you try, the more wobbly you become, eventually falling down. Well, why is that? It's because resistance gets set up in the construct. When you try so hard, you set up resistance to the flow of what your intention already started. When you state an intention from a place of relaxed, joyful expectation that you've already created it, which you did with your thought, then it will flow to you easily and manifest. It may not manifest the way that you think it should, but it will manifest perfectly for you. So, to get back to the question of what our coping mechanisms are, we have to say we don't have any, because we don't have a need for them. There is no need to cope, not even in your world. The way you cope is to believe in yourself, to trust yourself with a capital T, that you are unlimited and infinite in your ability to create, manifest, heal, and enjoy. We want to welcome all of you. And there is someone who has left a question. Our partner will read it. It's very small, so it's really hard to say the name. But the question is, why do some people have such a hard time getting into trance during hypnotherapy? Well, that goes right together with the question that we just answered. And again, we want to reiterate, the harder you try, the less able you are to achieve. And why is that? Because when you are in a state of trying, when you are in a state of attempting control in the human vessel that you're in, especially in the construct where you live, in that third dimensional earth life, there is a principle. When you try, when you have need, when you are in a state of trying to control, you pop your energy over to the left side of your brain. And when you do that, the left side of the brain, which is the analytical, organizational, very linear kind of energy, it starts to take over, and it wants to label, to judge, to separate, to differentiate, and organize things at the very least. At the other extreme of that property of the left side of the brain, it wants to control. It becomes not just assertive, but aggressive, and maybe even angry or frustrated. And so when you do that, resistance sets up, because it is absolutely antithetical to the creative flow that you want to be in when you're tapping into the cosmic mind that is you. So the reason why some people have a hard time getting into trance during hypnotherapy or doing anything else they want to do is because they are trying. They're trying so hard. You cannot go into a trance state, i.e., anywhere from the alpha brainwave state through the theta state, a little bit of delta, and even into the high reality state of gamma. You can't do that when you're thinking. When left brain is working, right brain gets shut down, and right brain is the thing that helps you tune in straight up through the cosmic antenna, which is your pineal gland, by the way, and have perfect access to the cosmic flow of universal consciousness. So, for those of you who wish to get into trance deeper, or maybe want to go into a deep hypnosis session where you are completely immersed in that cosmic mind, we advise you to just relax, not try anything. Our partner does a special form of quantum hypnotherapy where she requires each of her clients to go through a few techniques before they go into the trance state, and it will help open them up to the trance state. These include some breathing practices, some sound practices, and a few other things. If you do this, it enables the pineal gland to clear, to be charged up, and then to activate. It's like turning on the greatest cosmic antenna you ever could. And it opens up like a lotus, the top center of the brain. It's a tiny little thing, but it then opens up, and it's like a giant satellite dish. And then you are fully able to access the cosmic mind. In so doing, you're in deep trance, and you have access to all the information in creation. So, to go back to the question of how you can get into trance during hypnotherapy, our answer is relax, relax, relax. And if you would like more information, you can contact our partner to set up an initial session, and she can help you through those practices. She also has an online school called the Quantum Dojo, where she teaches people these techniques for very, very low exchange, and anyone can do it. You don't need another person to get yourself into trance. We hope this helps. We're going to look through and see, there is another question here from Bernard Holland. How do you move to the next level and activate and use your gifts? Bernard, and those like you, this works perfectly into that other question, the other answer to the other question, and that is, stop trying so hard. And if you do want to learn some of these techniques, the Quantum Dojo that our partner hosts it hosts 2 classes per month. They're usually 2.5 hours long, and they teach you how to tap into each one of your psi gifts, your special gifts. Each month is devoted to a special gift. In April, for instance, the gifts are channeling. So you'll learn all the techniques, and you'll be able to practice with others and get good at channeling within the month. It's always a beautiful experience to see people grow into their gifts. In past classes are available as recordings, and you can get just as much benefit from them as the live classes. But to tap into them yourself, again, our advice is to relax, to stay out of judgment and forethought and analysis, and try to let go of all the things that you've heard about. Don't judge yourself according to how other people's gifts are availing themselves in the universe. You have your own special way, your own special gifts. Let's say that you want to be a channel, like our partner channels us. All that is tuning into the cosmic mind and completely surrendering yourself and trusting that you are fine and that whatever comes through is a beautiful truth and that it will help those who you are speaking with. And then just start answering questions. Do this with a couple of friends or trusted family members. Just say, I'm going to try a process and build my skills. And then you just sit for a moment, maybe do some deep breathing, some mantra, drumming, dance, whatever makes you feel in a flow state. That's super important. Get into the flow state. And then let them ask questions. And don't try to think. That'll shut it right off. Don't think at all. You'll find yourself kind of going on a little mental vacation. You may not even be aware of what's happening, but the answers will start coming through and they will be so powerful, and you will feel this beautiful energy and a beautiful feeling afterwards that you have done a service to someone else. So just practice that. It's really simple. Can get complex, but don't get caught up in the complexity, because then you pop yourself back over into the left brain and you shut your gifts down. But any psi gifts can be attained by just trusting. We highly recommend the practice of meditation, any type of meditation. What is meditation is just allowing yourself to get into a flow state. So your meditation might be different than your neighbors. You might like to go for hikes in nature and just quiet your mind that way and just kind of flow with what is around you. That's deep meditation. You might love ecstatic dance. You might like being in a drum circle. You might love to create beautiful paintings. You might be a musician. You might like to compose or play music. Any type of state that you can get into with whatever practice you have that allows you to lose track of time, your body, and your environment. You're in a flow state deep enough to get into any of these practices. Any of these psi gifts will become available to you. We hope that helps. All right, so we're going to go through and look at some other questions that have come up. We apologize if we're missing any. Please restate if you need to. The next person, it's really hard for her eyes to read the person's names with this filter, but the question is, how do you know that the entity you have channeled is telling the truth about who they are? Well, again, that comes up to the trust issue, doesn't it? Number one, you have to trust that you are putting yourself into the love, an unconditional love frequency, a frequency of gratitude, all of the higher level emotions. Raise your vibrational frequency, and you cannot be resonant with something that is lower than that. So if you are in a state of unconditional love, gratitude, excitement, and integrity, remember, you have to live in integrity in your life, or you're not going to pair up with someone who is truthful and in integrity themselves. If you're in that state and you live in that state as much as possible, you cannot help but channel an entity that is telling you the truth. And dare I say, most of you, all of you who are listening right now, you wouldn't be listening to this were you not already in a resonant vibrational state with us, with higher level beings who are no longer in an egoic, dualistic state where there is no integrity. We are completely honest. And most of the cosmos lives this way. We want to tell you this, by the way. Most of creation lives this way. Where you live in the construct of the third dimensional earth human life, there is a rigid architecture that you set up for yourselves, by the way. You created this. It's not something that you got banished to. It's not a prison. It's not an exile. It's not a test. It's just something that, it's a science lab that you constructed yourselves to run some experiments in, basically. But the construct is, or part of the construct is that there is duality. There is what seems to be two ends of a spectrum of everything, good and evil, black and white, dark and light, heavy and weightless, and so forth. So it's easier to get to a place where you can trust when you know, and we hope that you can feel this with the energy that's coming on the carrier wave of these words. When you know that almost every place else, every when else in the universe, in the YOU-niverse, lives from a place of heart coherency, integrity, and has no need for all of this contrast, there is always truth. There is only truth. This little science lab, this little school that you constructed for yourselves, that's just the only place where you experience this. And you did it because you had this idea. What if we didn't live the way that we normally live? How would that be? And again, that's why so many of you are waking up right now and coming together with these questions and with these deep, compelling feelings that there has to be more. I have to get away from here, or I want to go home, or I need to develop my higher level gifts and help the world. So many of you want to help the world, and we thank you for that. This planet, this place where you live, is full of beauty, just like the rest of the cosmos. But you have put blinders on, and you've put the veil of forgetfulness on, and everything looks pretty dire sometimes and pretty chaotic. But don't believe it. It's just an illusion that you set up. It's just a holographic illusion that you set up as an exercise in learning and gaining experience. And once you've had your fill of it, your vibration changes like it's doing now, right this minute, and you will start to notice that your construct is falling apart. Don't be afraid when you see that. We're sure you're noticing that. Governments aren't working, financial systems aren't working, educational systems aren't working, religious organizations are definitely finding themselves in a quandary. Relationship styles are not working this way they used to, and that's okay. Let them spin off into entropy, because it makes room for you to live the way you want to live, which is the way we live, in harmony, peace, love, gratitude, and abundance, and definitely in equality. We hope that helps. Just looking to see if there are any more questions. And what we would like to do with you now, if there are no more questions for the moment, is to just take you through a little bit of a meditation, if you will, or guided journey to help you tune into this frequency a little more, so that once we leave each other today you will have it embedded into your own systems. And you'll be able to feel us and feel your connection to us because you are us. That is why our partner always says in Lakesh at the end of her transmissions, because in Lakesh is the ancient Mayan greeting that people used to say to one another, even if they met strangers in the forest. In Lakesh means, I am another you. In other words, we are one. It's the same word as namaste, in yogic parlance. In Sanskrit, namaste means, I'm another you. We are one. The divine in me sees and is honored by the divine in you. So, if you wish, remember, don't listen to this while you're driving a car, but if you wish, go ahead and just get in a comfortable position and close your eyes for a moment. And take a deep breath or two. And feel the energy that's coming into you now. It's the energy of love. It's the energy of connection. It's the energy of peace. And as you relax your body, let your mind focus on this word, love. Love. And as your mind focuses on this word, let your imagination go down into your heart space and see it as a sanctuary. Perhaps your sanctuary looks like a crystal chamber or a cozy house. Whatever you can imagine, get that picture of your heart into your mind. And then float there in the middle of that sanctuary and feel the absolute power of love. You might start to have memories come up of times when you felt the most love in your life. And it doesn't have to be with a human even. It could be with a new puppy or looking at a beautiful flower. Feel those memories come up now and feel them viscerally in your body. Let it be as if you are experiencing that memory again in the physical realm. What were the tastes, the smells, the sounds, the feelings, the textures, the colors? Feel it. Amplify it. Feel the warmth, the tenderness. Feel it in every cell, in every atom of your being. Now, allow yourself to amplify that feeling by being grateful. Grateful that you have experienced that feeling of love at some point in your life. Now amplify it even more. See it as a whirling crystal tornado there in your heart, spinning faster and faster, rainbow light. And you're just in the eye of that tornado, that hurricane of love, still, peaceful, joyful, grateful. And now allow that energy, that rainbow light, to begin to flow into every system, every cell, every organ, every gland, every tissue, every bone of your body. And feel it swirling in there and recalibrating, healing, enhancing leveling up your abilities on all levels: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, even causal. Feel it. And then see it forming a beautiful orb of colored rainbow light, but it's iridescent. You can see through it. See this bubble of light, this orb, surrounding your entire body. This is your own special conditioned space, your own Faraday cage, your own sanctuary, now exemplified outside of your physical body as well as inside it. And know that it is vibrating at such a high rate of frequency that nothing that is not resonant, not equal to or greater than this feeling can penetrate it. It is an impermeable bubble of light and love. And yet, you are transmitting now. You are a generator of that energy, and it flows through easily through that bubble out into the world, affecting everyone and everything around it in the most positive and harmonious way for the highest good. And so if someone should come up to you who is not resonant with that energy and they try to sway you, try to pull you down into their lower frequency, that energy coming from them, it'll hit your orb, your impermeable bubble, but it will be affected positively by that. It will bounce off like a force field and bounce back, transmuted to a higher level, back to that person, and it will help to change them. So just by staying in this beautiful, comfortable state for yourself, you begin to consciously change the world. Remember, program yourself to be conscious of this bubble, this orb of light that is you. And if you're ready to take up this vow, promise yourself that you will consciously walk around this earth from here on out, transmitting, amplifying, growing, and enjoying this feeling state. This is how you do it. This is how you change your world. This is how you change your frequency to come up to ours, to enjoy the fruits of your labor, which is a life full of love, happiness, harmony, and equal abundance. Stay in this state for a moment. See if you can amplify it anymore. Enjoy the quiet. Enjoy the feeling. Well done. And now program yourself to be able to feel this feeling state at this level or in growing depth each time you consciously think of the word love and envision your orb, your impermeable bubble. We'll speak more about this technique and this technology, the orb technology, in another live channeling soon to come. We hope you will stay tuned. In the meantime, we want you to begin to feel your body again. We want you to feel it in such a way that you notice things have changed. They've improved. You feel better. You feel happier. Maybe things that weren't quite right in your body are starting to feel like they're improving, that maybe they're healing or have been healed. Remember, this all comes from you. We are merely the facilitators of your memory. And we encourage you to keep coming back and back and back into this energy to remember who you are. Unlimited, infinite potential, expressing in any way that is the most exciting, joyful, peaceful, and harmonious. Now come all the way back into your body and start to wiggle and move and yawn and stretch. Blink your eyes if they were closed and maybe take a sip of water or tea. And we will leave you now until the next time as we express our deepest gratitude and love for you. We are the teachers in Lakesh.